and we'll start the meeting. So the reason I wanted to do this was because, first of all, Sandhu's not going to be able to be with us this week, so I wanted to do something, and I thought doing a little training session might be an interesting thing to do. In terms of storytelling, I can tell you my background. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Advertising Design, and I have a Master's in Mass Communications and TV Production. And when I was an art director, associate creative director, I did a lot of different commercials. At Saatchi, I had several Procter brands, Duncan Hines, and Crisco Oil, Crisco Solid, Cascade, Comet, various other Pert shampoo. I had 11 Procter brands in Canada for a couple of years. I used to have to travel up to Toronto and do commercials up there. And then I also, I guess my biggest claim to fame is that I did the medical, consumer, and international launch of Rogaine. I always say they took one look at my head and I was immediately typecast.
Ah, yes.
So anyway, I also, as far as that's concerned, my sons, I have 6 sons, and they finally realized their dad had made it when shortly after the first Rogaine commercial came out. There was an episode of The Simpsons. I think it was the fourth session of the second year, and they started the episode with a cartoon version of my launch commercial for Rogaine.
Oh, wow.
And the little cartoon guy looked like the guy that was in the commercial, and you see the back of the guy's head as he's looking out at the ocean, and he says, you know, some things are as inevitable as the tide. And that was the first line in my commercial. So the rest of the episode was all about Homer regrowing his hair. So my kids know that I have made it because I have been spoofed by The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So
that's big time. That's serious pop culture cred right there.
So anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to start with talking about storytelling. And I'm going to use a story that I actually posted a year ago. And I put a link in the comment section. In fact, there's a number of links that you should look at in the comment section of today's event. But I wanted to use this. It was actually done with Midjourney 5.1. But because of that, because they didn't have consistent character capabilities at the time, I had to do a whole lot of Photoshop work on this thing to try to get consistent characters through the story. But how that was done is all in the posting that I've put in the comments on how it was done. What I'm going to do today is talk about it from a standpoint of the story and the writing of the story and the use of it as a storyboard for communicating. When an art director designs a page for an ad or a brochure or anything, what he does is, or she is, they take and direct the viewer's eye and what they want them to see first, what they want to see second, and move their eye around the page, whether it's the main visual or maybe it's the headline that comes first, but they direct you around the page purposely, and then the difference is with video is that you have the opportunity to show people and tell people only what you want to tell them at that specific moment. You don't have to reveal everything because it's not a page. It is a series of images and a series of copy. And this particular story is called The Cave Dwellers. And it's an adventure of some teenagers. So let me go to share my screen. And we'll open up the Cave Dwellers. So everybody should be able to see that now, right?
We can
Yeah.
see your screen.
No, okay. All right,
Yep.
so I want to talk about why I've done what I've done, both visually and word-wise. Everything here is done on purpose. The copy reads, I know it's got to be here somewhere. How do you know? Haven't you seen the hundreds of bats flying in the sky in the evening? Their cave's got to be near here. Jacob and Renee were primed for an adventure. Tommy, not so much. Why do you want to go anywhere near bats? It may be the year 2323, but teens will always be teens. Okay, so what have we established? We've established that we've got some teens, they're going out for an adventure. We have Tommy, who's kind of I don't know if he is reticent or a realist, but he is kind of giving us a sense that maybe this isn't going to go right. And of course, we now know that there are bats. So we already have an anticipation here of, what's going to be happening here. So look, that's got to be it. And then they discover the cave. And before they go into the cave, they stand there at the opening. The three stood inside the mouth of the cave, debating next steps. It sure looks dark, Tommy said, a little under his breath. Come on, we've all got flashlights. This is going to be awesome. So what we're doing here is we're setting up the fact that, something's about to happen. They're taking this last moment to decide, are they going forward or not? And so then they do decide to go forward. They hadn't gone more than 50 feet into the cave when, what is that horrible smell? I can hardly breathe, says Renee. Tommy started choking. I think I'm going to heave. Shining their flashlights down on the ground, they discovered they were walking through mounds of bat guano. So of course they've put their flashlights up and look up. Above their heads, the ceiling of the cave was covered with sleeping bats. Let's get out of here, Tommy pleads between coughs. Jacob remained undetermined. We're going deeper into the cave. The bats are only in this area. Okay, so what have we done here? We know they're going to go forward. We know there are hundreds of bats. And we know they're going to have to come back out of the cave eventually. So we're setting everybody up for the possibility that, oh boy, there's going to be something going on here. So we go on, and going further into the cave, the room got larger. Now, before I'm showing you how that large cave looks, I'm showing you how the people are reacting, how these kids are looking at this, and they're just amazed at this. So this is building your anticipation so that, wow, look at this place. Wonder what's causing that blue light up ahead. Totally awesome, unbelievable. All I can say is, wow, again, we don't know what they're looking at, but we're about to see it. The room glowed from huge bioluminescent stalactites and stalagmites. How big is this place? Looks like another room ahead. So we now have this real adventure of something really unusual about to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen. But when they go in the next room, there's no copy here. And why is that? Because like them, you're going to be there in awe of looking at this scene. And it is, just this huge, unbelievable space. But peace and groovy times, a very strange man approached them from out of nowhere. He had pure white skin, long white hair, beads around his neck, over a loose-fitting tunic, but strangest and scariest of all was his oversized blue glowing eyes. I'm called Moondog. What's your vibes? I'm Jacob. Renee, my name is Tommy. Moondog replies, cool, man. This is wild, man. We've never had visitors here before. You must be from far out. Okay, so we've established this guy is a hippie. But what also is we're going to see they've been down there for a long. Remember, this is 2323 that this is taking place. This is my daughter, Solstice. Greeting them, Solstice softly says, peace and good vibrations. Renee questions, do you live down here? Yes, we all do. How many are you? We number 157 currently. When we were first here, we could count 350 free spirits. How long have you lived here? Jacob asks. Moondog closed his eyes as if in pain and responded, our people came here in 1967 to escape the Vietnam War and threat of nuclear war. They just wanted peace, man, peace. Tommy, remember our realist here, in disbelief says, this is 2323. That means you've been down here over 350 years. How is that possible? Solstice responds, the cave provides for all of our needs. So now we're going to find out about that. Moondog instructs Solstice, please take them to see the garden and then come back and join our family for a meal. Okay, so we've got, again, we're just revealing a little bit by little bit and, building the anticipation of all this stuff. Solstice leads them, the three, into a garden room, another bioluminescent area filled with unbelievable lush plants and vegetables. In another room, Solstice shows them a crystal clear pond filled with large white fish. See, the cave provides all that we need. Come now, let's join the others. They're anxious to meet you, I'm sure. Crossing through somewhat narrow passage, they arrived where they were greeted by a large number of residents. All seemed happy to see them. Each one had the same all-white skin and those large glowing eyes, men, women, and children. Those who were not bald had the same long white hair.
Unknown caller.
Please join us for a meal. We've prepared a welcome feast for you. So, needless to say, this is a little spooky. We don't know, what they've prepared or what their idea is of having a meal with them. But that's very kind. But I'm sorry, Renee replied. We really have to start going home. It's getting late. Please, you must stay, said one of the elders, his tone suddenly turning more serious. No, you really must stay. We can't let you leave. We can't let the far out know we are here. Okay, so now we're there. We're in this, where is this story going to turn? Oh, sorry. Jacob responds first. No, you don't understand. If we don't leave, they will come looking for us, and then you will be found out. Renee joins in. We promise you that we won't tell anyone about you or your location. Please, you can trust us. Our word is good. Yeah, that's right. We promise, added Tommy. Solstice spoke up. In walking around the garden with them, I got to know enough about them to believe that they are all very cool and can be trusted, Father. Moondog reminds the rest of the people that the previous generation had prepared for a day like this many years before. We know what we must do. We have to seal the cave. Seal the cave with them in it, the teens in it too, or what? We'll give you 25 minutes to get out of the cave, and then we'll detonate the explosives placed to collapse the cave entrance. The three teens rushed to get to the entrance. it would take very close to 25 minutes to exit with hardly a minute to spare. They got close enough to the entrance to see that it was just after sundown, and you know what they're looking at. Suddenly, hundreds of bats began to circle in the air, ready to exit the cave. "We can't run through all those bats," Tommy screamed. "We don't have any choice," Jacob responded. "Pull your jacket up over your head, bend down and run through them like your life depends on it, because it does." This was even scarier than the thought of having to stay in the cave, but they did it and had barely exited the cave when an explosion caused the hillside to crumble and completely close off the cave. Finally safe, Renee sighed and said, "I know we can never tell anybody about this whole thing, but if we did, I doubt anybody would believe us." So I got to show you, this is what was the inspiration for this story. I had the idea of trying to do a cave with bioluminescent stalactites and stalagmites. The other thing I want to show you is how did we get Moondog and Solstice. I was not getting pictures of what I wanted. This guy in the lower left here was all I was getting, and he didn't have white skin and he didn't have bulging eyes. He was giving me two-piece signs. But we did have that one guy that really looked the way we wanted him to look. And so I used those two pictures in the blend feature of Midjourney. So blending those two pictures is how I ended up with Moondog. Same thing with Solstice. I don't know why they had that particular thing on her forehead in the picture that was generated, but combining her with the other guy, we got this picture of her, and then in Photoshop I changed that to a peace sign on her forehead. So that's the story of the cave dwellers. So what I want to do now is I'm going to stop sharing. And I want to open up the discussion for a little bit about storytelling before we go on into consistent characters. I know there's a number of storytellers in the group here. Sherry's here for one, and I invited John Gospel from Nigeria to join us. John is one of my very favorite storytellers. And I had John post some of his recent posts of his stories and his wonderful characters that he's designed. And he's animated these things. And so I think there's about 4 posts there for him. But I would like to open it up to questions. And I would appreciate comments from other storytellers as to any advice that they would have in terms of storytelling.
Absorbed a bunch, but I thought that was a lot of fun. This is my first storytelling session with the Big Owl, so much appreciated. And if I have questions, they'll probably come to me later. Maybe I'll just message you, but yeah, that was really cool. Yeah,
that's certainly fine. John Gospel, would you like to tell us a little bit about the videos that I've posted in the comments section? And if you would, if you can turn your camera on so we can see you when you're talking, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see me and hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Tell us about the videos we have here.
Okay, I've pushed in quite a number of videos to you. Let me check which one to basically just talk about now. Okay, let me talk about silver lining. Silver lining is most of my content come from play. I just start playing around and things start flowing. So Silver Lining is a tale of revenge mission where this young guy who in Africa there's what we call black magic. So he's a soldier, yet he has black magic. And a particular guy killed his family and then was sent to jail. Now he came to revenge by killing the guy's dad. And this dude is a Caucasian, he's African. So he came and killed the guy's dad, and then word got out to the guy in prison that his father has been murdered, and then he's a mafia. Then he sends words to his team to do a total clean sweep of the guy in revenge. So it's a story I'm trying to tell in episodes, trying to push the boundaries of generative AI to see what it can come up with. And so far so good. It's the tools we have now has made it easier. I mean, what we have here is ideation. AI has execution. So generating the characters, generating the scenes, the storyline from Midjourney to ChatGPT, and then to Runway ML, a little bit of Luma AI rather, um, has been able to bring this together. So far, so good. It's nice. One other thing I like doing is also to tell the tale of Africa using generative AI, like the one I did, The Lost Worlds of Africa, where I tried to talk about the masks and cultures of Africa that are missing somewhere below the ocean and stuff. So there is no, I wouldn't say it's the story is as organized, because listening to you, I saw the perfection in how the scene evolved. I wouldn't say I took that part to tell my tale. I just rattled it the way it came to me, and somehow it came out nice. The other one is the one I called Adanaya, like which I did AI music. That was yesterday. I was just playing around with character consistency after we had our chat big out. So after I created the images, I said, why not animate it and add a song to it? So I used Suno AI to ChatGPT first to generate the lyrics, then to Suno AI to create the music, the song, then to CapCut to merge everything. And so far, I did a little editing in Photoshop though, where I had to add the lower third that pops up in the video. So basically, for me, I love the concept of storytelling. It's been what I like doing, especially talking about Africa. In the early days of generative AI, when we joined, if Bigal, if you notice, it was me trying to address the African challenges using AI. And so far, so good. That's the part I'm also doing now. Good thing, the tools are here. We can now tell our tales. You know, when the hunter tells the tale of the hunt, it favors the hunter. But if the animals in the bush can now write their tale, I mean, you can now balance from the two sides to know what is true and what is not true. Now we have uh, some tools and the knowledge. The idea is to go ahead and create culture-themed stories and concepts, demystifying some concepts of what we know about African stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's, I really urge everybody to look at all of his posts that are on the comment section. I love your art style for these things. And the other thing that I'm surprised to find out that you're using these animation programs, it almost looks like stop action animation in some of the scenes. And you had some that were lip synced. Did you use what program did you use for that? There's a couple.
For for the lip sync, it's basically Runway ML.
Okay,
runway AI rather.
okay,
That's what I used. Then for silver lining, one of the voices were mine because I couldn't get AI to give me a typical African voice, male African voice. So I had to use my voice to augment for that, and then the others were basically AI. Yeah.
okay, terrific. Anybody else, any other storytellers that want to make a comment? Any questions?
If anyone has any questions too, I'll be open to answer.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's a special flow that you go from, getting the excitement, slowing it down, raising the speed again, and making people pause. And I also thought about how you position the camera when you have the camera more looking up towards the people and then straight ahead and so on, if that was a special purpose in that. And thank you so much for your story, G, and gospel as well. Super interesting.
Thank you. Well, basically, about the camera positions, for you to effectively prompt these things, you will start with uh, for the camera positions, you start first with your image prompt to create the position you want to see before you animate. Now, if you want to do a low angle, that's why to effectively prompt good images, you must also study how cinematographers use their camera, the perspective, the angles, the lens. So you prompt with this, and then after prompting with that, when you go to the image to video animation, you also use same camera angles. So far, so good. AI does not really have all the control, except for Luma Labs that brought in some stuff yesterday or so, where you now have the motions, the angles and stuff, camera pan and everything. So the workflow would be, first of all, prompt the angles in Mid-Journey to give you the result, and then add the camera angles too in the video prompt. It goes a long way to enhance and boost the success. Although it doesn't come at the first prompt, most of it won't come on the first prompt. So you keep trying and trying till you get exactly what you want. Then, yeah.
Yeah, I also tried to do a frog. I have a story about a frog, but it's impossible to do a frog in. It's impossible, really. I have to go. I have to leave that
It's
story.
I've blown several accounts. I've blown several accounts, subscriptions, especially run before they released this alpha
Judy,
mode. I've blown several accounts
Judy,
trying to get a particular angle, and it's not working. So, but now I discovered a cheat code. When I blow my account, I create more emails to keep trying till I get what I
Yeah,
want.
I love that.
So, I mean, if it's been effective so far.
yeah,
Love to ask a question. If I could.
Okay.
So that was very enlightening that you blew a few accounts because I started paying for it because I realized very quickly you're really paying. I started, first of all, I just want to say hi. Nice to meet you after all these years.
Pleasure.
I feel like I know you from LinkedIn. But my point is that I just started
Yeah.
experimenting, taking all my Midjourney images and trying to take a lot of the ideas that I had to try to animate them. And it's really rough. I mean, you really need to blow through tons before you can get it to do what you need. And it's all black box stuff now. So I have a few questions for you. It's very
Okay.
expensive to experiment. You've
It
confirmed
is.
that, correct?
It is.
And I was very surprised to see the effects you got through the animated style, the cartoon style.
Yeah.
Do you find that it works better in a non-realistic style than in a realistic style in Runway?
Okay. If you follow my progress so far in text to image creation, I hardly do realistic stuff because I feel I don't like doing what everybody's doing. Everybody is in doing realism and stuff. So I left it for everybody. I found my niche. So I wouldn't know how it works for the real stuff because I've not tried it. I don't find it fancy. So far in animated cartoon style, it's not been easy, but trust me, I don't give up easily. I keep pushing till I get something similar. Most of the sequence you see in some of those animations would be like 3 seconds each of like five cuts to make one animation. So good a thing I have video editing knowledge and photo editing knowledge too. So I can easily manipulate my results from Runway or Luma Labs, but I prefer Runway to any of them. The results are closer to what I would want than the others. Yeah.
Yeah, I have put 3 of
Thanks.
my music videos in the comment section as well, and the most recent one where I did the music video for the old Torch song "When Sunny Gets Blue" was done in Runway Gen 3, and the Summertime is Chillin' and Grillin' Time was done in Luma's Dream Machine. I'd like us to move on to consistent character right now. So I'm going to share my screen again and move on with things. So let me get the next thing up. When we first started having consistent character in Midjourney, like everybody else, I tried doing stuff with one person to make an avatar, or did stuff with myself as the photo and stuff like that. But I am somebody who likes to push boundaries. I like to try to push as far as possible of what the programs are capable of doing, as well as pushing myself. So I wanted to test out not only the consistent character, but could I do more than one consistent character in a scene? So naturally, being a storyteller, I decided, well, if I'm going to be testing stuff, I might as well do a story. So this is a story about what do you want to be when you grow up. And what I did was I made this image with these 2 characters. To tell you the truth, I picked the girl from one scene and the guy from another and put them together because I like those 2 characters. The other thing is I'm planning on, you'll see other pictures of them as they're talking, sitting on the bench. So I wanted the background to be consistent because they're still sitting in the same place. And I knew if I re-rendered everything, the background would change. So I rendered the background out of focus playground separately. And then silhouetting them, I put that in the background. So once I, excuse me, once I made this scene, the next thing I did was I cropped the 2 kids and made individual character references. So I started using those. I'd like to be a doctor in a hospital and help people. And the prompt here is the 3D cartoon, 9-year-old girl smiling, imagining herself dressed in a doctor's white coat, being a doctor in a hospital, examining a patient in a hospital bed. And the character reference, because I did this in Discord, I had to put the image of the girl on my website, which would give me an HTTP connection for that, and then I was able to copy that and put it in. And the thing I want to point out here is the character weight, CW, is 0. When the character weight is 100, you're going to get the characters to look exactly the same, dress the same, everything. But with character weight 0, what happens is you will maintain the same character, but you can then change the wardrobe and have a different look to it. Well, the boy says, I'd like to be a doctor too, but a veterinarian. So again, using the picture of him as a character reference. And again, character weight is 0, so that he could be in his little outfit here. When I was little, I wanted to be a fireman. Now, you'll see this prompt here, the medium close-up 3D cartoon 9-year-old boy imagined himself wearing a fireman's helmet, emphasis 3, and coat, emphasis 2, riding on a fire truck with lights flashing. All right, he's not on a fire truck. We got a nice fire truck out of focus in the background. And the reason for putting the emphasis on the helmet and the coat was I was having a heck of a time trying to get the Midjourney to put a fireman's outfit on this guy. But this picture, though he's not on the truck, I like the picture, so I used this picture. When I was 4, I wanted to be a ballerina, she says. And again, character weight is 0. My mom always said I could be anything I want, even to be president of the United States. Oh, did I mention this this girl in this thing? Her name is Kamala. So anyway, then she says, I'd rather be a gymnast in the Olympics. And then he says, if I entered the Olympics, I'd like to be a sprinter. So now we go back to them in the park bench. And this is from other renderings of them put there again on the bench in the same out of focus background. You know, who knows what might happen in the future? Maybe someday we'll get married. Okay, so now I have taken that original picture and used it as the character reference. So I have 2 people, the 2 cartoon people in the thing. Again, character weight is 0 so that we can change their outfits. And he goes on, again, just him as the character reference. And maybe I'll be an architect and design our house. And then using them both again, then someday we can have a couple kids. Fun to think about what might happen someday. So that was that little story. But I want to go on to something I prepared for this event.
Big Al.
What's that? Sorry?
I have a quick question. I
Yes.
have a quick question on this last one. On this last one, you have CW 100. I
Character
was just
weight.
questioning what that was.
Yeah, that's
It's that was the exact same one that looked exactly the same as in the first one.
okay. You're breaking up a bit, but the character weight is influences the how strongly the character reference is used, and so you have at 0 you can get the costumes to change and everything. Hairs change if you want, but if you are wanting it to be exactly the same, you'll use the character weight of 100. There's I'm showing many more of that sort of thing with this particular thing.
Can I just ask you one quick question now?
Sure.
You created the boy and the girl on the park bench first, and in the character reference, you used the 2 of them in that one reference,
Yeah, in the wedding scene and with the baby, yes.
and it picked up their 2 faces like that. Wow.
Now, and wait till you see what I'm about
Okay.
to do here, because we're going to really try to push this thing.
Cool.
Where we are, I hope with anybody who's there and sees the words matchmaking, I'm hoping that at least some of you have the matchmaker song from the Fiddler on the Roof going through your head at the moment. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some get some people to go on a date. using the term character development, Midjourney will give you hold on one second. Judy, I have a repairman coming here and I need my wife to get him. Judy. Sorry. Anyway, you'll probably hear a doorbell since my wife isn't here at the moment. Anyway, when you use the term character development, you will get multiple views of the same person. And it's really kind of neat because that way you have, oh, she's outside, that's why. She's meeting him outdoors. Anyway, so this is a full figure of a man, meaning full height in his 70s, who's handsome, fit, and good health. And then we did a woman also, and have these. So now let's see if we can combine them together. And what I did was I put 2 views of them into the one document, and I'm going to use this as the character reference. And now we're going to talk about the style reference. And what I did was I created this picture, full-length photo of a happy couple in their late 60s about to go into a nice restaurant for a date, and the restaurant is located on a street in a small upscale suburb, summer early evening. And so now we're going to use that as the style reference, the character as two people as the character reference, and we get an image like that. They're dressed very similar to the pictures. You notice the character weight is 100, style weight is 100. The truth of the matter is, you'll see some other scenes in a little while where I'm not stipulating what the style weight and character weight are, and we still get the pictures with the people dressed like in the pictures we're using as a character reference. Why? Because style weight 100 and
unknown caller.
Character weight 100 is the default settings for the character weight. But we started having some things happen. All of a sudden, he's growing a beard. They're still dressed similarly, and a little bit of a short. What I wanted to do here was change their wardrobe. So I prompted a woman wearing a bright red pantsuit, and he's wearing a sports coat with no tie. And now the character weight is 0. Style weight is still 100. But we were able to get these scenes with these 2 characters, with the difference being that we have this the beard. I try to figure out why do things like that happen, and there's one of 2 explanations. One is, in our style picture, the guy has a beard, so maybe that's it. But the other thing is, I think Midjourney really likes to put beards on guys. So anyways, those are 3 examples of doing it with the change of the wardrobe. Okay, so when I did a character development of some of the people, it didn't give me multiple shots of them. And this is a character development image. And I liked her, and I thought, let's see what it's like to use her. And I liked this guy, and I thought, gee, they look like they'd make a good couple. So I silhouetted him using the Firefly capabilities in Photoshop. The best automatic silhouetting I've seen to date. It still isn't exactly perfect, but it's the most perfect of any I've seen, because I really am a stickler about silhouetting, and I'd much rather spend an hour drawing paths around a guy and have it come out right than to have a lousy silhouetting. But they do a great job of silhouetting. So let's take these two and let's put them in a restaurant. And this is our style reference. The thing I think is interesting about what we're going to see is we have 2 glasses of wine on the table, and we're keeping 2 glasses of wine on the table. And you know, we've got a pretty good, you know, likeness to them. I think this one is closest to him of any of them. And then, oh, he's making his move. Obviously this date is going well. So now what I wanted to do was to try doing the full length images of them walking down the street, like the first couple. And so what I did was I used the same style reference. But what I was also doing was I wanted to change their wardrobe to her in a red pants suit and him with a jacket on. Well, I ran the thing. She's got red pants, but he doesn't have a jacket and she doesn't have this, even though it's prompted in there. I think you can guess what happened here. I didn't put in the character weight. So we got these pictures. They got red pants. Why? Because her pants aren't showing in the character reference. So they gave her red pants. That was their attempt to do something. So then we took and we put in the style weight and the character weight, and now we've got it. But for some reason or other, they gave her shorter hair. So what do we do about that? I want it to be more like her picture. So what we did, we just added a little bit to the prompt with flowing shoulder length hair, the woman with flowing shoulder length hair. And we got an image like that. All right, so now let's pretend I have a client that wants me to do a job, and they want 4 people, same characters, four different people in the scene. So I took and put these 4 people together. Let's, you know, to see if indeed it would be able to do this. And so anyway, we're going to do a shot where this is our style reference, where we've got 4 people, 2 men and 2 women in their late 60s, sitting together in a large inboard motorboat on a lake, happily chatting and enjoying a drink. Friendly, beautiful day on the lake. So now we're using that as a style reference, and the people as a character reference, and we have a style weight of 100 and character weight of 100. And it looks like we ended up with 2 of the same guy. They are quite similar in terms of baldness and stuff. And I got this scene, and that you see the guy over on the right looks much more like the guy on the right of the character witness. But our second guy still has a beard, and my client says to me, well, you know, I mean, they're out on a lake. They're not going to be dressed like that. They, you know, put them in shorts and you know, t-tops and t-shirts and just, you know, mix of red, white, and blue. So I got this picture, and the client looks at it and he says, well, you know, I don't like it with all these people wearing glasses. You know, I mean, can you get rid of the glasses? I said, well, how about if we give the 2 people on the right sunglasses? They're outside. They'd probably be wearing sunglasses. Okay, that's fine, but get rid of the beard on that guy. So there you go. We got rid of the beard by going into Photoshop and doing a selected area and prompted clean shaven on the guy. And I used selected the area on the glasses and we were able to do that. So now I've made my client happy. But how far can we go? Here's a photo of 5 happy people, 3 men in tuxedos and 2 women in evening gowns chatting together at a cocktail party on a balcony with city lights and background. Okay, so that's going to be our style reference image. Here are our 5 characters, and that's going to be our character reference. And lo and behold, they really like those first 2 people. And he keeps, there's 3 of them there, and I don't know where that brunette came from. It kind of looks like the blonde with brunette hair. Here's another one, and the same guy 3 times, and it looks like they're using the first 2 characters and not the rest of them. And it just keeps happening. And so I thought, well, let's see what happens. I mean, we've had the character weight of 0. What happens if we do character weight 50? Well, now we have 2 guys that have jackets on with open collars and no bow ties. We still have this brunette gal, and we still have multiples of the one guy. So, do I go to my client and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this? No, if I did that, the client would never come back again. So how do we solve this problem? I tried doing it, seeing what happens if we have, 100 as a character weight, and we still are getting multiples of the guy. So I got to solve this problem. So I tried to see what happened. Maybe the problem was that it was too long of a thing, that maybe the crop should be the same as the picture, because I had heard something like that at some point or other. But I tried this, same thing happened. So now I've got to solve this problem. So we know 2 people work together well. So we use the character reference of these 2 people, and we come up with this image. So then I run one with those 2 people, and we got 2 of him, and I like her, and the arrow's pointing at her, but I don't like him because, see, the lighting on this guy is totally different on this guy. So I'm going to use the girl because I'm going to put her over on the far right and crop off a little bit of the back of her head. So we're not going to really see if there's a backlight on her head. And here's a guy, and he's lit like the other guy. So we're going to use him. And then the guy that's got the beard, we got a nice profile of him that'll work nice on the side. So take all those characters, bring them together, silhouette them, bring them together in Photoshop, and the client is happy. So, it's my workaround. If you want to have if somebody wants something from you and you can't do it, you got to find ways of doing the thing. So we're going to open up. I'm going to stop sharing again, and I want to open up a discussion about character consistency. Now, I don't know what your opinion is, but my opinion is those were nice, but they weren't perfect. They weren't great. They didn't look exactly like the people. They came close, but I'm not really happy with it. Now, I find Musavir has a very good character consistency, but the thing is that we don't have the ability to, well, I take that back. I think you can have a style reference in the thing now, but I haven't tried it out to see if we can do multiple characters. But fortunately, I invited Diana to join us today. And Diana, could you tell everybody about the character consistency program that you and Sasha are creating?
Sure. Hi, everyone. In case you don't know me, my name is Diana, and for over 5 years, I'm working on educational projects. And the way I started with generative AI was coming more from educational side, but now I am developing trainings for creative professionals and also co-creating the app with my partner Sachin Kamath. And this app will be focusing actually on creating consistent characters. It's 1 minute left for this event, and I would not like to drag everyone's time. Time is precious. So in case you're curious to see what we are working on more, I have shared the link in the comments on the Zoom as well under the event. We, in a few weeks, will be hosting a live demo. And what we are focusing on currently is developing character sheet. So you can very easily create characters from different angles. It will be possible in different styles as well, although I am preferring creating characters in Pixar style, animation style, but also photorealistic results are possible. I know that it's super challenging to get sometimes consistent character sheet in Midjourney, working with Midjourney every day, many hours. And it's just a matter of luck sometimes for specific character, because or you will lose the consistency in terms of the outfit, or you cannot get many expressions as you wish, or pose. And our app will be a solution for this. Right now, we already have a workflow where you can prompt, you can create your character, and then you have the character sheet, which is quite consistent. It's already existing. We will be also working on uploading the image reference to copy the pose, and in future uploading the image reference of your character to create very similar one, and modifying the background as well as lighting and having more control. I'm happy to share my screen just for the second in case, okay, I need the permission
Yeah,
to do so.
let me see if I can find where to do that. I think under part.
In any case, I'm happy to invite everyone for our live demo. I know that many people will find it interesting for their story telling experiences. Our students are creating books, and from recent cohort, we have a psychologist who had joined us. She is not a creative professional, but she wants to create stories for kids with disabilities, and to use her own knowledge to come up with such solution and help parents and kids to come through this challenge. And unfortunately, it was too expensive for her to hire a professional. So she's looking for such solutions as well. There are people who are looking for animating existing characters, which is also an interesting case when you want to create something custom. Super nice example is a Mini Studio AI, I believe. They are working, this is then AI studio, which are creating characters with our consistent character GPT, and then animating them in traditional way, as well with the power of AI. There are many ways and walks I can go through creating consistent characters. So in case anyone has questions, I'm happy to share.
I thank you, and I do suggest you. I'm sorry I couldn't find where the button was to
No worries.
the screen share, but we do have this demonstration in the comment section that she posted there, and definitely take a look at it, because what we're seeing is they're keeping this one character through various different scenes and everything. Anyway. We did start a little bit after noon. If there's anybody that has any questions or any other thoughts about consistent character, let's hear.
Yeah. Can I just ask? I saw that I would really love to see if Diana could show, if you look at your share screen bottom downstairs, Bigal, and on the right on share screen, there's a button up. So not pressing the share screen, but
Oh,
on
yeah, I
the,
got it. I got it.
yeah. So there
Okay.
you can
Okay,
enable for dynamic
Diana,
share.
you can share that thing with us.
Okay,
Thank
let
you.
me do that. Mhm.
You hit share screen up on the top. Okay,
It's unfortunately my internet takes time.
there you go. Now
Please
I'm
let
done.
me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, you're up
Okay,
now.
so right now we are startup. We are bootstrapping, not having any investments, so please don't be harsh on us. This is what we are having right now. And we have just used the Notion doc to put everything step by step for our students. I was not getting ready for a specific professional demo right now, so just keep with me. We have implemented our workflow, which we developed in Comfy UI, but not everyone likes to work with Comfy UI, and it takes a lot of power, and also it takes mental patience to work with this. So we have collaborated with the SegMind and implemented our workflow there. I'm happy to drop this guide in general in the comments in case people would like to test it out.
Yeah,
Okay,
put that
maybe later.
link in the comments
But
also, please.
yes, the point is that you're logging in the SegMind right now, and the second step is opening the consistent character AI model, which we have developed. You have the specific kind of prompt that we recommend that works the best, and it's quite simple. You start with the image style which you want. It can be Pixar style, Disney style, photorealistic style. Then you put the character type, you describe what kind of character you want. You can also tell the ethnicity. It works very well with different ethnicities. I make sure of this, and different age, hairstyle, outfit, emotions, and we recommend to put clear background. It does not always give 100% consistent result in terms of colors. There is such a thing like color bleeding. So it can change the outfit if it's quite complicated. But if you try something simple, the results will be much better. And as you can see here, you will see the character sheet with character in different positions and angles, as well as the avatar of that character. The studios are already working with this character sheet, and later they are using more traditional methods to make a 3D character or put it into the production. It's for pre-production right now. But what's possible for the user who is not professional is animating those characters with HeyGen and making talking avatar, and also, for example, creating a background in Midjourney or ideogram or DALL-E and putting consistent character over with this background to tell the specific story that you would like to do. And you can create various characters. In case you don't like your character, you can just press the button to regenerate. It usually takes 40 seconds to generate this character sheet. It would take much longer in case you're using Midjourney to get that level of consistent results. Generation is not free. It costs, I believe, 30 cents because it's running and using GPU power. It's not for us, it's just the way how you can use the system. And we have also advanced parameters here. You can press on advanced parameters and upload your own image reference. In case, in this case, I have uploaded this image, and this is my character is doing the same pose. So for storytelling, it's a great solution in case you want to create some kind of videos as well. It's very fun working with Runway and HeyGen to animate those. And we have provided also the example prompt Right now, we are working on launching the app. It's just the workflow on Segmine that I'm showing right now. It's not the app that we have launched. And yeah, happy to share the link in case you have more questions. Feel free to DM me. In future, we will be working on more expressions and improving outfit consistency and implementing background as well lighting within creating the character. So you don't have to create them separately and then put the character on top, but you will have the finished result within our app.
That's terrific.
We'll go back and drop this link for everyone who would like to give it a try. And we will be showing much more during our live demo in a few weeks. So again, inviting everyone. It will be probably ready, maybe launched, still don't know, but we are working on this.
I applaud you guys. That's really terrific. Excellent.
Thank you very much. But I was astonished that you could manage to get this level of consistency in Midjourney. By the way, if you were watching precisely Big L's demo using a character reference with 0 and 100 is a great tip for Midjourney. Also, you can use face swap. And in case you don't want to pay for Segmind and test out the workflow that I'm sharing right now in the chat, you can go to ChatGPT, find consistent character GPT, and it will create you very nice illustration with the background, quite high quality, and it's also a great solution for the storytelling. We had been during the Web Summit, we had developed this consistent character GPT because we had so many questions about the consistency, and it now had used over 1 million people, over 500,000 people, sorry, have used this consistent character GPT. So it's doing quite well. And I hope that you will find some value in using one of those solutions yourself.
Well, that's terrific. Diana, I'm so glad you could join us today and show us that. And it really is very hopeful about what the possibilities are with it. So thank you.
Thank you so much for invitation and your time.
Because of the amount of time, I would like to suggest that if you have any questions that you would like to ask me or Diana, or John Gospel, to message us individually, and we can go from there. I'd like to, I always like to leave people laughing, so I'm going to share my screen one more time and give you a very short little story. Second, hold on. Okay, and so here's my little story to finish off the day. As people know, in the United States, we have actually in a number of European countries as well, we have very strong differences of opinion going on. So I decided that I would do just a quick little story to poke fun at this. So there is so much anger and disagreement in our country. Some people try to make a patriotic statement out of their views. Others proudly display their positive stance. Yes, of course, I'm talking about people's view about broccoli. Some find any way they can to show their love of broccoli. Others demand that school boards stop feeding kids broccoli at lunch. Marjorie Taylor Greene believes Biden is going to force everyone to eat it. On the other hand, some really go overboard to show their broccoli love. Oh, please get a grip, lady. It's just broccoli. Men seem to prefer their broccoli steamy. A lot of people like it baked. There's really no explaining of some people's attraction to broccoli. But some will never be convinced. That's it, folks.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you.
Miguel. You are great. And thank everybody else who talked. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you enjoyed
Thank
it,
you.
and I hope that there's
Thank you, Big Al.
you gotten some pointers on some of this stuff. So again, thank you so much for being here, and this is being recorded, and so it will be available on the comment section of the event. Okay, so.
Can we create a group chat on LinkedIn? Can you do a group chat, Miguel? You know, or somebody? Because there's a lot of interesting people in here that I would like to connect with, but I don't know if you're on, what's your name on LinkedIn and so on. Is that possible?
I don't know about
It's
how
no,
to,
it's okay. Okay.
but look up Maria. Maria, you're saying Maria Branding here. What's your what's your
Yeah, that's right.
post? It's not your last name.
No, it's Maria Linde, so I can write it here in the chat. Maria Linde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do.
Okay,
Also to-
Maria Lindy is that, and people contact Maria. She's a great person in Sweden, and a wonderful person to talk with. So make friends with Maria, please.
Hey, Big Al, I thought it was funny you brought up broccoli because one of my biggest performing posts was the broccoli Lesnar. Just to add on to the humor, I dropped the picture in the chat, so I thought that was hilarious. That's great, Big Al.
All righty, folks.
Oh, I love these creative people. I just want to say that because before we end this, and I would really love to have like this, once a month, twice a month, and just meet all of you and hear your thoughts about AI and your prompting and all so on. I'm so sad that it's finished now. So thank you so much, Big Al.
Most of the people here join us for our audio events every Friday. So you're all welcome to join that, and maybe we'll do a video thing again in the future. So thank you, people. I'm stopping the recording now.